Greetings all, this is Malik Assad Jafar, and today I want to talk a little bit about creative visualization. Let's get into it.
I'm the best, so do not test the top of my profession, the master of my chosen field, of that there is no question.
So, this, my topic that I'm talking about as far as like creative visualization, to be more specific, what basically, specifically what I wanted to talk about was creating your own sanctuary and meeting your higher self. And I kind of want to tell you the process a little bit, but I guess more specifically, I want to tell you what happened to me. So I met with an individual that was telling me about this creative visualization exercise, and they first wanted me to start off in a room. And the room was, we went through the breathing, we went through the relaxation, we got my mind into a really good, peaceful, flat place, neutral, just kind of open and receptive to anything that's to come in, because I wanted to meet my guide, meet my higher self in my sanctuary. And this is a safe place that I go to that I tend to meditate on when I am stressed or when things are going on in life and I need to reflect and contemplate. It's not just me sitting back going, it's actually me taking myself there in I don't want to say it's not issues, but the concerns or the questions that I have that I might need to have addressed, or what I want to be introspective about is reached there. So he told me to start off creating this room that could look like anything that I wanted, and it had to have a door. And he wanted me to pay attention to what the door looked like and identify with whether or not the door had a window on it, and what did the handle look like. Okay? And so, of course, I was able to explain all of this after the fact, but I'm going to give you step by step what happened with me. And so my room was I want to say fuchsia, purplish kind of color around the walls, and the walls were lit by I guess crown molding that had some type of fluorescent light at the top, and the top of the ceiling was black, and the door was red with a gold handle, and it had a window that I couldn't see out of, but that's what my room looked like. And there was one chair that was in this room that I happened to be sitting in, that I could see my feet on the floor and everything that I had on, and my clothes and everything else, right? Now, also, let me tell you this, what I ended up doing after the fact is that I went through a dream dictionary. And in this dream dictionary, what we were able to do was we were able to identify with some of the images that I was able to see. And initially it was eerie because I didn't understand it, but now it was like, makes perfect sense. I get it. So after being in this safe room, what he wanted me to do was he wanted me to imagine walking out of this room. And after walking out of this room, he wanted to know what I saw. And so what I saw after walking out of this room was I saw a dirt trail, a dusty dirt trail with just a few rocks, but vegetation on each side of the dirt trail. The grass was not I don't want to say well groomed, but some of the grass was yellow and some of the grass was green. And on this trail, just real quick, briefly down this trail, there was this path, if you will, there was a river. I can't even say it's a river, more like a creek. And the water was a little rocky and a little rough, but it was flowing. Okay, it was definitely flowing. And after crossing over the creek, I saw that there were some stairs that went down. And as these stairs went down, I saw a wooden door with metal on it, metal strips, if you will. And as I opened this door, I realized what it looked like what appeared to be a dungeon of sorts, because it was a long hallway and it was dark, and there were candlelit. There were torches on the wall, about 3 on each side, and there were doors in the hallway. I chose the second door on the left, and as I opened this door of the same structure, it was a giant room, and it looked almost, if I had to relate it to anything in particular, it would be like medieval times, you know. But in this room, there were books all over the wall. It was bookshelves, books all on the wall. There was food in the room. There was a bed. There was a table with the food on it, on the table, that is. But everything was just so nice. There was a fireplace. It was warm and comfortable. And across the room, there was an image. Now, at the time, I had very short hair. I'm sorry, I didn't have short hair. I had braids. It wasn't like this. And so at the time, this person that was across the room, they were hazy. I couldn't see them that well, and they were wearing a white outfit. So they looked like they were there, but they weren't there. It was like misty, hazy. And as I got closer to this person, I recognized that that person was actually me. And that person had this hair, long hair, and had a beard, and was in this white clothing. And I felt a sense of peace when I was around them. And they didn't talk to me. They just simply smirked. Kind of like, you know, like they knew something that I didn't. And I felt like all the answers that I needed were in one of those books on the wall. Very, very peaceful dynamic. But what I come to find out later on, that was actually my higher self. And it's funny, I evolved into this person. And every once in a while, we need to kind of go back, recreate ourselves, reevaluate ourselves, reinvent ourselves, to evolve, to become better. And I meditate on this place not as often as I like, but it's times like this in life where you are growing and building, where you might want to do that. Now, that was my place, but you feel free to make your own place or space your sanctuary. Remember that it's your sanctuary, where you keep your peace of mind when you're hurt or injured and you need to get, you know, into this mental stability or this mentally stable place. This is where you go. And so what you can do is, like, basically imagine yourself, if you can, the beauty of an environment, whatever it is that you like. Any place. It could be a meadow, it could be a forest, it could be mountains. I'm partial to the woods, by the way. Ocean, under the ocean if you want to. Just make it your safe place, your peaceful place, your happy place. Notice everything about your environment. And when I say that, I'm saying your 5 senses. You know what I mean? You know, your sight. What do you see? What are the colors? Are they vibrant? Are they dull? Are they this? Are they that? What do you smell? Do you smell anything? You have to make this place real, so you utilize your senses. As far as like the taste is concerned, you know, when I was looking at the table, it had oranges, it had a turkey and all kinds of different stuff on the table, and I could, you know, I'm salivating. I could taste the citrus of this and that, and the juices on the table. And what do you hear? I could hear the flicker of the fire burning in the fireplace and on the torches, and I can also hear, you know, the creaking of the doors and the footsteps, and just wind, and just really calming and peaceful stuff. And what the touch was. And as I said before, it was a very comfortable and warm place. It felt like home. It was home. It is home. It's my home. It's my peaceful place. You know what I mean? And so, those are important things to try to recreate or to generate when you are making up your own sanctuary. And try not to get starting out, try not to get very specific answers, if you will, like, okay, my name is Malik Assad Jafar, and that didn't just come from anywhere. That came from our sanctuary. There's a meaning behind the name and so on and so forth, but for another day, of course, that we'll go into that. But just make sure you greet your guide and be as peaceful, and don't go there with anger and frustration. You know, it has a way of, when you visualize things, it has a way of resonating within your images. You know, it has a way of resonating within your mind. You don't want to manifest that. So make sure you're in a good place when you're starting this type of meditation. Make sure that you are able to, this guide that you have there, this whatever it is, and mine was me. Doesn't necessarily have that. It could be an animal guide. It could be anything. But it is there to enlighten you and inspire you. And so I was able to learn a lot of stuff from the books that I read. And it's not a dream, but it is me meditating. And when I come out of the meditation, I usually will do some research and search things on my phone or the internet or in books and read them, you name them, to give me some insight on things that I need to know. It's okay to talk to your guide and ask questions or question things that are going on in life. Whether they answer you or not, it's not important. But closed mouth don't get fed. So if you don't talk about it, you can't be about it. You can't engage in whatever possibilities are there. You know, there's power in words. And so you mentally say that, and you know, you try to generate what it is that you need to generate within yourself. You see what I'm saying? But what you want to be able to do is take whatever it is that you get while you're there to this realm, this dimension, this understanding. You know, that is your higher self. And if you have an opportunity, if you engage in these things, please feel free, contact me. Send me messages on how these things turned out for you and what ended up taking place within your vision. Some people are private and they don't want to share that. But my purpose for wanting people to share that is exactly why I shared with all of you, because I wanted to be able to inspire. I wanted to be able to motivate, not necessarily duplicate what it is that I put out there, because if that's the case, then you're not really being you. You know, and you need that quiet time to get in tune with you and find out who I need to be, what do I need to be, what inspires me, you know, just all the questions that you might end up having. So pretty much that is my take on creative visualization, and it is certainly beneficial. And you know, let me tell you, when I was a fighter at one time, and so when I was fighting, people used to visualize on being the greatest. People used to visualize what the match is going to be like. It's almost like visual motor rehearsal. I don't know if you've ever heard of that, but VMR. You know, it's in you know, the movie The Secret. They talk about that and what the astronauts do to get ready for space travel, or the stressors of the of Mach, which gets very strong going up there, and so they had to kind of get themselves mentally prepared to do that. And so, yeah, it's an exercise to get yourself mentally prepared to be better, to start shifting things in your life. The next couple of videos, I don't know, I've got some great information as to where I can, or how I can do my videos a little bit differently. You know, I'll need a little bit of time and see if these things come to fruition and what I can end up developing, but bear with me, you know. So with that being said, y'all stay safe, be blessed, and I see you next time. Peace. Bam.
I'm the best, so do not test the top of my profession. The master of my chosen field, of that there is no question.